Well, welcome to episode 2 of Rahu in Conjunction. Today we're going to tackle Rahu and Moon and what happens when these two come together. Well, I already explained Rahu what it is. It is that negative, obsessive, compulsive force, that always trying to take the shortcut. It amplifies everything in a negative way. And Moon is your emotions. Moon is your emotional response to your ambience. Moon is your emotional reaction to things that you receive. Moon is your mind. Moon is your mother. Moon is your way to express yourself, way to interact with other people. So the way you communicate in terms of emotions is what Moon is. So if somebody says something negative to you, how do you take that? Do you feel introverted? Do you become shy? Do you get depressed? Do you feel lonely when somebody says something to you? Do you get suddenly angry? That's what Moon signifies. So when this eclipse of Rahu comes over the Moon, it overshadows all the positive effect of this planet up to a certain age, because eclipse never lasts for life. It always removes. So if you have this, it removes itself slowly after 35, between 32 and 35. And what happens with this eclipse is that, first of all, the health of the mother suffers. But it's not your fault. You were brought in because of this specific alignment, because of, other people have to pay their karmic debt. So it's not like because of your alignment, your mother's suffering. No, this is not your fault. It just, that's how that source wanted this person to suffer. That's all it is. And what happens with this alignment is that mother might be absent in your life, might have passed away early on, or you just don't feel nurtured from your mother. Like your mother was very distant. You have a very distant relationship with your mother. So this is one of the most commonly seen effects of this. Another effect is the psychosis. You become obsessive about something. Like, these people usually have a very obsessive nature when it comes to relationship and their significant others, especially if it's in the 5th or 7th house. They stalk people. All the stalkers, they have this effect of, Rahu on the Rahu over the Moon. And what happens is Rahu signifies things unknown, things, smoky things you can't see, or things you see but they disappear. So these people have, first of all, if this conjunction is in the 12th house, these people have a lot and lots of psychic ability. They're able to connect to things that are unseen. That's a positive side. But they also see, things of the other world, like they see ghostly activities if this is in the 8th house. And just because you have this in the 8th house doesn't mean that's going to happen. It all depends on the degree, nakshatra, and the divisional charts. So don't take this as per se, but I'm giving a basic, a little, the fat scenario of this thing. And what this thing does, it brings severe depression, especially in the dasha of Moon or Rahu, the planetary time period of these two, because that's when these two get activated. So people feel depressed, people, they even feel suicidal with this. But remember, eclipse never lasts. It really removes itself slowly from 35 and onwards. So, don't worry if you have this, it all removes itself. Another thing that happens, this amplifies the anger in a person, especially when these two conjunctions are in the 12th, 1st, or 2nd house, because that represents your head. And what Rahu does is, if Moon is if it is in a certain sign and it feels angry, Rahu will suddenly amplify that. It'll explode it like an atomic bomb. So these people when they get angry, they will just punch anybody. They can even kill anybody, commit murders. But that usually happened with the aspect of Mars. But we don't want to get into that. We just want to talk about Moon and Rahu. However, a positive side to this aspect is that these people make very good writers. When Moon and Rahu is in the 12th, 3rd, 5th, and 8th house, it can give tremendous amount of imagination that nobody else has. Because Rahu lets you connect to the other side that people really do not know about. And it also gives illusion and imagination. So these people, depending upon a certain sign, it also makes them good writers. So guys, this was a very basic, study of Rahu and Moon conjunction. Obviously, there's more to these things, because when you look at these things, you have to look at the what nakshatra, the constellation these two planets are sitting in, what sign and house these planets are sitting in. But it usually brings this effect, you know, but depending upon the sign, it changes the scenario of those things. It changes the circumstances of that, you know, basic conjunction that I just told you about. So next episode, we will be tackling, I believe, Rahu and Mercury. So if you're new to my channel, subscribe above, because hey, I'm going to be bringing you all the information about this stuff and more. And if you want to know more about, you know, myths and misconceptions of astrology, check out my link below. You won't be disappointed. Thank you.